Sydney Heritage Fleet restores, maintains and preserves some of the rarest fully operational ships in the world, including the 1902 steam launch Lady Hopetoun, the 1902 steam tug Waratah, and the 1874 Square-Rigged Barque James Craig. We actually have one of the world's largest working heritage fleets. We're a true museum that goes to sea. We preserve irreplaceable maritime skills, support youth and training programs, and keep living history alive on Sydney Harbour. And we are run almost entirely by volunteers. Tall ship James Craig is berthed at Pyrmont Bay, but our fleet base is actually at Rozelle Bay West. There we have a heavy industry workshop, some wharf space, and our unique submersible Sea Heritage dock, designed and built by us to carry the James Craig as she was being reconstructed before being recommissioned in 2000. And then we used the floating dock to carry the coastal steamer John Oxley, which is now back in the water and close to completion. And the dock now carries the historic and quite amazing double-ended harbour service ferry Canangra, which has begun restoration. So for the last 10 years or so, successive New South Wales governments have been considering changes to planning laws in Rozelle Bay to allow high-rise accommodation, developments that may have a bad effect on all of our operations, especially if we have to close or move our maintenance base. If Rozelle Bay West is lost, the fleet will have difficulty relocating and may be forced to close. The vessels will decay, skills will vanish, and more than a century of maritime heritage will disappear. Our fully operational tall ship James Craig completed her extensive restoration at our Rozelle shipyards. If we lose our shipyards, the continuing operation of James Craig will be seriously threatened. In this video, we'd like to capture a day in the operational life of James Craig as she takes passengers for an adventure sail outside Sydney Heads. This is what we do. Please enjoy.
Okay, good morning everybody.
Morning.
Welcome aboard James Craig, arguably Australia's largest operational harbour tank. We have two very special guests on board. This is Oscar, this is Michaela. Guess what, how long ago was Germany? 20 minutes ago they were married. Stay shaded, make sure you've got a hat, sunblock, drink lots of water. If I see you drinking beer,
now you can, at times, the crew may ask you to join in and haul on some lines.
And so your head goes, yeah, that's right, and your hands go between the tapes. There's a groove here, we want to be groovy, so you need to try and use like our lovely models for how it's done.
How good's this? Going under the harbour bridge and going past the Opera House out here in Sydney Harbour.
Come down to one turn, all lines.
Can I give it a slack, please?
Setting In South Australia I was born, heave away, haul away. South Australia, round Cape Horn we're bound. South Australia, haul away you rolling kings, heave away, haul away.
I've been with the Craig for about 6 years now, but I've been with the museum overall for over 30 years. And the Craig has become my passion, and I enjoy sailing the ship. I really enjoy the interaction and the camaraderie, and we've got people from 18 through to 85 basically, and we just generate so much social capital, skills development. People learn skills that they don't normally have. I spend a lot of time working on the deck trying to keep the deck watertight, and so I need a lot of help with that. So there's a lot of people that come in and help and learn, and they move on with their life and their jobs in other areas, but I think most of them enjoy coming back because this is a great experience for them. So I highly recommend it, and I think if we lose it, I think it will be a terrible loss to Sydney.
Shit, they want to pack it. Never did regret it. With me holly hi-yo. With me holly hi-yo. Little Susie Skinner prefers a coolie dinner. Says she's a beginner. With me holly hi-yo. With me holly hi-yo. Little Nancy Dawson.
Racing round, sharp up, port tack. On the forestack. Ease away, haul away.
Ease the pin.
Okay, ease to the pin, guys. A bit of a slack, please. Alright, you can get back. Let it go.
I am the youngest member on the James Craig. I've been with the James Craig since August of 2024, and I joined the James Craig through a school mentoring program. The first time I laid eyes on this boat, I knew I wanted to be here. I went straight up to whoever was in charge that day and I said, how do I get on? Give me a sign on paper. And I did it that day. And the next day I came in and I was signed on, and I was already making my first steps to become crew. And every moment since has been an absolute delight. The sights I've seen, the people I've met, the places I've been, it's truly astounding what people are missing out on. Coming out here is just, it's breathtaking, it's quiet, it's calm, it's peaceful. The ocean is just such a welcome and warming place, to be honest, and it's where I feel most at home. And especially with all my crewmates, I'm always having time of a lifetime. We do voyages once every 2 years to Hobart, and I had the pleasure this year to do the northbound voyage on Hobart, which was one of the most exciting voyages we've had in a very long time. Truly an amazing experience, and I really recommend it for anyone out there.
Stations to set the lower topsail.
To go up there, and we're going to put some slack into the buntline so that the sail can fill all the way out, and it's going to be great fun.
after spending almost 15 years working on dockyards in Sydney, Cockatoo and Garden Island, I'm really enjoying this experience on the James Craig. What a wonderful ship, raised from where it sat on the seafloor and brought up here and restored wonderfully well by the guys at Rozelle, and they really did a great job. What an unreal experience to see this ship with its masts out and the crew working so well together. I'll never forget it. Thank you.
It's been a fantastic day out in the James Craig. The crew's been fantastic, good fun and a good lunch. It's fantastic for tourism in New South Wales.
Well, how can you beat this? Put your heads right in front of us, tall ship, water, but beer available. You can't beat this. This has been the most magic day. You can't beat the crew, you can't beat the ship.
Great sailing weather.
Yeah, absolute magic day for it. I've been wanting to do this for a long time and it hasn't disappointed.
I'm so glad that I came out today. Actually, my parents passed away and I came down from the Gold Coast to bury them and wanted to do something, and if I hadn't come out today, I'd still be more sad than I was. So it's just been a beautiful day, and learning how to haul the mainsail up and having, you know, that history and heritage. So I really am glad that we were able to sail on the James Craig today, because my husband and I have been married for 20 years and my husband's always wanted to sail on the James Craig, and every time we come to Sydney to see family, it is always booked out. So, and this is the only boat, like in 20 years, that we've actually had hands on things, and I've learned how to chart log, and I've hauled on the main halyard of a real, you know, sailing boat, and that actually went up, and I can see why having the program for the youth will help them to have teamwork, and then we have less juvenile delinquencies, less kids, you know, getting in trouble, going to jail or whatnot. And I really do hope that this boat will stay in service for forever to come.
Been all over the world, been on every tall ship that you can possibly go on, the Peking, even the old Falls of Clyde, and Honolulu really regrets taking that out and sinking it. And it'd be a shame to see this one go the same way due to the lack of interest. This is fantastic.
My son came down from the Gold Coast in Sydney and says, "Do you want to go out in the James Craig?" I said, "Oh yeah, I haven't been on that for a little while." We used to look after Lady Hope, and long time years ago, used to look after the water, make sure that was all correct. So I know a pretty idea how the Maritime Museum works. So yeah, it was good. It's been a good experience, and you forget how much rope work has got to be done to keep an old ship going. You know, it's quite strenuous, and it's quite precise, and that's what I found quite amazing, is the operation and organisation of the crew and how you get things going.
The whole purpose of the Sydney Heritage Fleet is really tied up in a couple of statements. One is that we're the museum that goes to sea. If you look at a static ship, it's interesting. If you see a populated static ship, it's a bit more interesting. As soon as you take it off the wharf and go to sea, it's a completely different animal. So that's what we do, and that's what the fascination is, and that's actually what draws us to people to crew the ship and for people to come and pay money and be here. Why would the Australian public care if we were here or not? If we just blew up in a puff of smoke, who would care? Well, the people who would really care are those who witness the social programs that we do for kids in trouble, for kids not engaging in school, for kids generally who need to get some sort of agency and they have none. And there are lots of programs of those that we do. We also do regular things, the little Boy Scouts and people sleeping on board. And what we're actually trying to introduce there is a habit to come to the ship and engage in that next stage of personal development with the ship. At the top end of it all, you couldn't say that those who have been chosen to join the Defence Academy at ADFA could be underprivileged kids. So the Admiral in charge of all of the defence training asked me, so why should people come? And why should we bring all these bright people who have gone through all this selection process? And I said, well, we don't teach seamanship and we don't teach teamwork, but unless you do things with other people in this ship, you don't get it done. There's not one of these lines that you can operate on your own. So you just teamwork is the result of just operating the ship. So it's a metaphor for all the things that they have to do to be in the Defence Force. And I said the other thing is that when you come here and you're interested to get involved in it, you actually have to face your own demons when you go up there for the first time in your life on a wobbly ladder or in 35 metres above the water. You have a small conversation with yourself, which might go along the lines of what the hell am I doing up here, and you have to come to terms with all that. Then it becomes a tool, and the social medium, which is the crew, is something which is the real gold of the whole thing. If we have an atmosphere which is positive and trusted, then kids at risk will trust us to just get their minds sorted out. And that's not only kids, it's people of all ages. People who have retired, people who have lost people, who come out of a domestic situation that they were really unhappy with. They can come here and trust who they're with. And at the end of the day, that's the sort of value that, with all of this nonsense called a square-rigged sailing ship with 150 lines and everything else, it's got a purpose, and that purpose is a human one, and that's what I think the whole goal is about.